We play and call it work.
Hey everybody, this is Matthew from MiniWarGaming.com, and welcome to what is probably the last episode of Traveling Through the Realms. That doesn't mean that our lore videos are all done, but mainly this series covering the 8 mortal realms, and now we are going to talk about the Realm of Chaos. Now, I could easily take the Realm of Chaos and break it up into several videos, but I don't think there's much of a point because we only have so much information on each of them. It's just that I could talk about each Chaos God for a while, whereas I'm trying to focus more on the actual realms themselves. Now, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know if it's really fortunately or unfortunately, each Chaos God and his or her realm are one. It's hard to really differentiate the two because the power of that god is directly associated with the size and the makeup of that realm. As usual, there will be a battle report accompanying this video, and we're going to be doing one in the Realm of Chaos. There's no real rules for it, so we have to make some up. But you can go and check that out at the link in the video description below. So in the Realm of Chaos, first off, you have to think of the Realm of Chaos differently from any other mortal realm, where each mortal realm hangs in the firmament of the etheric void and are spheres. The Realm of Chaos really does not follow that same pattern. It's almost like a parallel universe or a parallel dimension, however you want to look at it, that connects in many ways to the mortal realms. It's basically the underworld. No, that's not inaccurate because that's the realm of death. It's like hell, because the realm of death is the underworld, whereas the realm of chaos are pure hell. There is nothing good about the realm of chaos in any of its functions. Some people might argue saying, oh, they're just a natural occurrence of things, but every god, every chaos god in the realm of chaos is looking out for things that are typically associated with things that are evil. We've got 4 chaos gods that reign supreme, although there's always room for more, as the great horned rat has shown. We've got the god Khorne, who is the god of anger and bloodletting. That's it. He doesn't care who dies, he just cares that people die, that people fight and that people die. We've got the god Nurgle, who is the god of decay and disease. Nurgle is obsessed with life and death, both, and just the cycle of life and death. But where the realm of life and Alario love the cycle of life and death for the beauty of it, he likes it for the hopelessness and despair, the inevitability of death, and then the rebirth to just create some weird creations, and so he's always working on diseases. We've got Tzeentch's domain, which is probably the weirdest of them all because it's made of pure magic, which they all technically are, but this one changes constantly and actually has little pathways that are hidden amongst all of the other Chaos Gods' realms, which they hate, and even linking to the mortal realms as well. And it's ever-changing, ever-shifting. And lastly, we have Slaanesh, and Slaanesh has been captured, so his realm is not doing so well, where it used to be this land of decadence and pleasures and vices. It's crumbled a lot and has lost a lot of its size. So if you can even think of them as having a physical size, Slaanesh is definitely the smallest one now, as he has been captured and is waning in his power. Whereas Khorne, Tzeentch, and Nurgle are all working pretty hard. I'd say probably Nurgle is the one doing the best, but it's really hard to say because Nurgle has taken a lot of hits in the Age of Sigmar as well. So let's go through each of the sub-realms of the Realm of Chaos, remembering that there's not really a physical size. Time can or cannot flow differently in the Realm of Chaos. Like, for example, if you go to the Realm of Chaos and everybody thinks you're gone for a minute, you can come back and it could have been a minute, could have been an hour, could have been a day, could have been years. You could go back in time. There's really no laws, which is why it's called chaos. It's the thing Sigmar hates the most is the Realm of Chaos. He might not like death or destruction, but he hates chaos because it just will not do what he wants it to do. And so as we go through it, we first come to the Realm of Khorne. Now the Realm of Khorne is just filled with blood and carnage and everything about fury and violence. It's built on foundations of murder and conflict. So as you could picture as you're walking around, the very ground itself, if you look closely at it, is formed from the souls of those who murder and those who are killed by the murderers, all these kind of things, anybody who's captured by the domain of Khorne. And at the center of it, we have the brass citadel. Brass is Khorne's color, I guess you could say. It's his metal. The fortress of Khorne himself is the brass citadel. It's decorated with red-veined marble. The metal walls of the unholy fortress are broken by jagged outcrops, encrusted with blood, and armored with serrated spurs of burnished brass. It's dotted with gargoyles. It's horrible. And in the middle of it is the big skull, the skull throne of Khorne himself. Now, as much as the Chaos Gods are beings of magic, they actually do have physical forms, each of them in the middle of their domain usually, except for Slaanesh, who's been captured. So it's if you are familiar with Warhammer 40k, I actually think that Chaos here is a lot different in a way that I like a lot more. In Warhammer 40k, the whole Chaos thing is every demon is really just a piece of the god. Whereas here, you could say that each demon is a manifestation of the god, but it's more that the god controls them so intrinsically rather than them each actually being a piece of his soul. And so we have a physical form, which, unlike the gods of order, destruction, and death, are enormous. We're talking ridiculously huge, continent-spanning sizes of these Chaos Gods. Now, they might be able to manifest themselves in smaller bits, but we have things like the Fist of Khorne knocking an entire continent out of the sky, or entire cities out of the sky. We've got Nurgle, whose cauldron that he uses to make his diseases is so big that it can fill the oceans from all of the mortal realms, and so on and so forth. And even if you see a picture of Slaanesh, who is captured, you can see that he is enormous in size. So these gods are enormous in size and in their strength. They have yet to physically walk the mortal realms, but they expand their influence through the mortal realms. Tzeentch's realm, of course, is most bizarre and hard to comprehend. His realm is woven from the raw fabric of magic. You have in the center of this one is the Crystal Labyrinth. It sits upon an immense iridescent plateau, and its presence is felt across all the demonic realms, because it's constantly shifting and making new avenues and new pathways between the Chaos realms. And Tzeentch, of course, exists in the very middle of it, constantly scrying, constantly manipulating, constantly trying to see the future and change the future. Nurgle, I read the novel Plague Garden, and in this novel, we actually travel with some Stormcast Eternals into the realm of Chaos, which is the Plague Garden, the realm of Nurgle. And so I actually was able to see really well what it's like. Basically, it's 7 levels of gardens. You start at the top, and you descend through each level. The very, very bottom one is where Nurgle lives. And each of these gardens represents a different aspect of Nurgle. It's interesting just to see what life is like there, that in the higher up you are in the realms, the lesser a being that you are. But everybody has a function. In the very first realm, when you first fall into the realm of Nurgle, you enter these huge rivers where there's these boats that ply the rivers for these souls that have come in, and they collect them and they bring them further in so they can sell them as slaves and as worshippers to Nurgle. There's all sorts of gardens where everybody's tending the weirdest things, and it's all to help just pour more power into Nurgle himself. And everybody there, if they want to be there, they're not happy to be there, because despair is the name of the game when it comes to the realm of Nurgle, but they get a lot of sense of accomplishment from furthering the work of Nurgle himself. Constant competitions amongst all of them, just like any of the other denizens of Chaos, and who's going to rise to the top, or in this case, lower to the bottom. And we actually get to see them descend all the way down to see Nurgle himself. I'm not going to give any spoilers beyond that, so you can go and read it. It's a fantastic book, Plague Garden. I really suggest that you check it out. It gives us a very good picture of what the realm of Nurgle is. It also allows us to see that a mortal can go to these realms, live there, although not for very long. The realm's magic will just invade your body. Stormcast Eternals, of course, can last a lot longer because of their constitution. But it's just interesting to see that they can actually go, and it's not like Nurgle is omnipresent and able to just do whatever he wants. That there are limitations to what they can do even in their own realms. And so that realm is all focused on the act of disease and decay, obviously. And then, like I said, the Palace of Slaanesh used to be much bigger than it is now, because Slaanesh was one of the gods or goddesses that was able to gain the most power at the destruction of the old world. It was a 6-fold realm of uninhibited glories and unbound pleasure. Though beneath its glamorous facade, says the core rulebook, doom and vileness have long lurked. But since Slaanesh was captured, it has descended in its glory. It is no longer as big as it used to be. The other Chaos Gods took advantage of this. And the size of the Chaos Gods domain is directly proportionate to two things. One, their worshippers in the mortal realms, and number two is their influence in the mortal realms, which they sound like they could be the same thing, but it's a bit of both. It's like as their armies conquer more of the mortal realm, they will spill over. Their goal, just like in the old world, is to turn every mortal realm into a realm of chaos. That's what they're actually trying to do. And as they do that, it expands their power. Why they want to do this, I have no idea. It's quite possible that the Chaos Gods aren't even really sure why they want to do it. They are just beings of raw emotion that are made manifest by the denizens in the mortal realms. I'm not sure exactly how it works and exactly how they're linked, or maybe they're just there because they're there. We don't know exactly how this entire universe was created. All we know is that there are different iterations of it, the old world being one of them, and now this new world, the mortal realms, being one of them. In the old world, the realm of chaos leaking into the old world was actually what gave them the winds of magic. So we do know, at least from that the very magic themselves that is coalesced into the mortal realms is a result of the magic coming from chaos. So it's quite possible that what we're looking at here is the etheric void is so ordered that there's nothing whatsoever, and chaos is so chaotic that there also is nothing whatsoever. And when the two of them clash, what we get in the middle are where life can exist, the immortal realms. And so on the one end we have the etheric void, which is, maybe you could actually look at that as pure order. This is just my hypothesis, by the way. And then on the other hand you have the realms of chaos, which are pure chaos. You mix those two, you get the mortal realm. So really we should thank the Chaos Gods for life existing in the end. Just like in our universe, entropy is the reason that life can exist. And the Age of Sigmar universe, it seems to be the same thing. Which explains why we have this infinite war. It's never going to end. You can only go through cycles of peace and war. And it's honestly after chaos wins that you get the best peace. So maybe that's a lesson that Sigmar needs to learn. Just let everybody die from chaos, and then you'll be able to get another Age of Myth where everybody is super happy because chaos is satiated for a little while. Until you rise up in power again and you basically challenge them and they want to do it all over again, over and over and over again for all eternity. Hey, it allows for Age of Sigmar to keep reinventing itself every edition if they really wanted to. Maybe the mortal realms will coalesce into one big realm and become super powerful, and then the realm of chaos eventually overcomes it and destroys it, and it becomes something totally different. Who knows? Who knows what the future of the lore of Age of Sigmar is? I have a funny feeling that even the writers for Games Workshop don't have the full idea, because it's all to be developed and explored, which is a lot of fun to do for a company such as themselves. So that is the overview of the realm of chaos. Not a nice place to live unless you are a demon of chaos, then you love living there, but for some reason you really want to go to the mortal realms because of your ambitions. Maybe it's too crowded. Maybe it's just too crowded in the realm of chaos. Go ahead and click the link below to go and watch the battle report in the Realm of Chaos. As a reminder, there is no actual rules for fighting the Realm of Chaos, at least not in the main core rulebook, so we're just going to be making some up, try to show you just how chaotic life in the Realm of Chaos can be, and of course one of the armies will be chaos, because that just makes sense. So go check it out. Join the Vault. If you're not a member, you get a free trial, get access to thousands of videos, and help to support us in making these videos. And a big thank you to all our Vault members who do allow us to do this for a living, which is awesome. Thanks for watching. Happy wargaming.